Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Just, just sorting out the microphone. 1 second, guys. I don't know what is going on. There you go. I think that's much better now. I get echoes in it all the time. Try to, sort out my phone and all that stuff as well at the same time. Yeah, big up everyone, man. It's been a great couple of weeks, hasn't it, guys? In regards to players signing contracts and that. Just watched the first time I watched the press conference before I come on. I wasn't even meant to come on today, but I said, why not? Let's support the channel, man. It's been a while since I've been on here. Yeah, do me a favor as always, guys. Please hit the subscription button, notification button, like button, all that good stuff, and get in the comments as well, and come and have a chat with me as I do the press conference. And you can see in the picture right there, and I put new graphics here, something different, something different to I normally have. I think this is much better. I mean, you got the table there, you got the chat there. I'm to fix the chat at the moment, but yeah, as I'll fix it, yeah, just give me anything. I know it's a spontaneous stream. I wasn't like meant to be here today, but so why not, man? Why not? Why not talk to my people? It's about time, innit? It's about time. It's been a while. Yeah. So Virgil van Dijk has signed a new contract for 2 more years. Congratulations to him. I'm happy with that. Virgil, is the leader of the team. Virgil is the inspiration. Since he's walked through that door, he's been, to me, the best defender in the world. And nobody can take that away from him. He led by example. He plays like, like someone that's got an aura about him. Whoever he plays with, he's, getting the special side out of them, and he never complains. Like when people compare him to the likes of Rio Ferdinand, John Terry, all these other defenders in the Premier League history. They had partnerships. Don't forget those defenders. Without that partnership, it wasn't the same. But when Virgil van Dijk plays with anyone, he makes them look even better, if you know what I mean, guys. And that's what I love about Virgil van Dijk. No matter who he played with since he's been at Liverpool Football Club, it's like someone in a job, and no matter who you put him with or who you put her with, they're still going to be, the level doesn't drop, if you know what I mean. John Terry with that Carvalho wasn't the same player. He needs pace around him. Someone's going to do the as a dogged work, as they call it, around him. With Virgil, he doesn't need that. You know what I mean? Like, when you compare Virgil with other defenders, what weakness has Virgil got? I could name you multiple weaknesses in John Terry. I could name you same with Rio Ferdinand, Campbell, Company, etc. You could name a lot of stuff of those defenders which are weakness in their game, but not many people talk about that. And I saw that Jason Cundy. I don't want to say the other C word, but talk about the other day, saying like he doesn't even put him in the top 5 in Talk Sport, which is weird. Like, how can you say Virgil van Dijk can't be in the top 5 of all time Premier League defenders? He hasn't won as many as them. You're talking about Premier League terms. You're not talking about the overall terms. You know what I mean? John Terry didn't win the Champions League. If you think about it, mate, he wasn't part of that team that won in the final. He came on and put the kit on after the game because he was suspended. And, decided to lift the Champions League when he wasn't the captain on that day either. So even Rio Ferdinand said Virgil van Dijk is better than him. He's got more to his game. So if players are saying things like that, I don't know what we have to say. Yeah, but listen, guys, Virgil van Dijk and Salah signing a contract is good, in my opinion. It's a special thing at Liverpool Football Club. Because normally we look at the players' ages, and it's something Michael Edwards doesn't like, giving a long-term contracts to players over 30. Hence why he left in the first time when he had a row with Jurgen Klopp about, Henderson. And, Jurgen was wrong about Henderson if you look at it at that time, because Henderson didn't end up staying at the club after that. So, listen, these two, let them self-terminate. I've always said that they've earned the right to do that, and this season proves it. They're going to win the Premier League. So this is the trophy that we've been wanting for years and years, and we've been saying like we need a parade with the Premier League trophy finally, and we're going to get that hopefully, inshallah. So yeah, you got to look at it, guys. You got to look at it from that point of view. You know, the players have earned the right to get contract at Liverpool Football Club. The payments, you know, is to do with bonuses and, you know, etc. So it's not something that will affect your life. I don't care what players get in the modern day. I really don't, because it doesn't affect my life. You know what I mean? It's Liverpool Football Club. You know what I mean? It's a game they're playing. So whatever they could earn out of it, that's all right. Put yourself in their shoes. If you was playing football and you ask for money, you know what I mean? You're gonna ask for as much as you can, right? So that's what they're doing. So give them, you know, credit for that. They got a family. They got things to do, you know, in regards to, you know, their own life. So yeah, man, I've got no issues with players getting paid and all that stuff. It's because it's nothing to do with us. I just don't understand why we get involved. Like we're the financial experts or something as a fan base. We're just fans. You know what I mean? That's what all we are. We're not. We don't work for Liverpool Football Club. We support Liverpool Football Club. We want the best for our football club, to get the best best players, best everything. That's the whole point. And I like it. I like, you know, these two players staying on for another 2 years. Hopefully, in those 2 years, we'll get players in that's gonna replace them, and under their tutelage, they will take over when they leave. If you know what I mean, guys, because I can't imagine they're going to stay over those 2 years, 2027 onwards. That's more or less impossible, you know, in football terms as well. So, yeah, it'd be perfect. It'd be perfect if we get players that's going to replace them eventually, if you know what I mean, guys. Big up Norm, big up Jason, big up John Conway as well. Let me just get those comments as we go on. I hope you guys, I keep changing graphics every time. Just looking for something else, you know what I mean, just to make the channel much better. Please like, share, subscribe, everybody. Big up Jason, man. Yo, hope you're up. I'm well, mate. I'm well. Sorry I haven't been on for a bit. Big up Norm as always. Big up, thanks. Don't know about legend, but thank you very much, brother. Big up John Conway. So Kanate and Bradley contract to work on now. Yeah. If it's true about Konate, it's 200k a week. That's kind of listen. Like I just said that in regards to, you know, the payments and all that stuff. But with Konate, the issue is he hasn't been fit for 3 seasons in a row since he's been here. Like he's been in and out of the team, so he has to earn it. You know what I mean? So what we're gonna see, what I want to see next season is him being the same as this season. You know, consistently fit. You know, making the team better. You know, competing for trophies and all that stuff. Because if you look at this season, what has got us over the line in the Premier League? Our players being fit continuously. And this is what I want from Konate. If he's asking for 200k a week and they pay him, good luck to him, man. That's his life. You know what I mean? Who am I to judge? Who are we to judge? And you know, think about it this way, guys. Like, they're going to win the Premier League. They're going to win the Premier League. You know, every other club, when they got players, they ask for, you know, if they want to sign a new contract, they ask for obviously more money, and that's within their right. And if Konate wants 200k a week, and he gets it, listen, it's not my money. It's not coming out of my bank account, so it's all right for me. Football's changed, guys. You know, football is all about, you know, finance now. And if you want your players to perform in the highest level, you got to pay the market rate. And if you look at the Man United players, majority of them get more than the Liverpool players. Liverpool players get more on bonuses and things like that. That's the thing. If people say like they get paid lower, no, they get bonuses. You know, if you win a Premier League, you get bonuses and all that stuff. If you score, you get bonuses. If you keep clean sheets, you get bonuses, etc. and things like that. So there's a lot of money that makes up for the rest of the, you know, when people are thinking like you get 100k a week. No, you get more as time goes on, as performance, you know, on the pitch, you know, improves as well. Like I just said, keep clean sheets. score more goals, win Premier League, win League Cups, win FA Cups, win Champions Leagues. You know what I mean? Things like that. You get a lot of money for that as well. But listen, we have to work on Konate. We have to work on Bradley. That's the next step in my opinion. I can see Bradley signing straight away. He's not going to hesitate or anything like that because he's going to be probably the right back for the future. As for the likes of Konate, we'll just have to wait and see if he's going to agree. Apparently, from what I've heard, he's been declining contracts. He's declining contracts on a continuous basis. So hopefully we could sort that out. Because we're hearing something along the lines he wants to move to Paris Saint-Germain. Is it true? We don't know. Because whenever I see him, he loves Liverpool Football Club. That's all he says. I love Liverpool Football Club. Yeah, guys. Sorry about the late stream. I haven't put it up for a while. But yeah, just get the comments through. We're gonna listen to Arne Slot, obviously, in his press conference and see what he's saying, and then we could discuss it as we go along as well, man. Appreciate everybody that's on, man. Appreciate all of you guys. Let's go, Mr. Arne Slot. Let's hear you, man. Let me hear ya.
I don't know whether that is that. Is it? Okay. First of all, Arne, obviously Virgil committing his future to the club on the back of Mo doing the same. What kind of statement do you feel the club is making by tying those two down?
No, it tells you that we want to keep our best players, the players that have played a great season for so many years in a row now, and that we're able to keep them when they are a free agent. Tells you probably the ambitions we have for the upcoming years. And yeah, I'm really happy that the both of them extended. Virgil, we've spoken about Mo last week, and Virgil has been so important for us defensively, offensively, in and around the dressing room. Great personality and a great football player.
Obviously, then I have to ask you about Trent as well. I mean, what message do you hope the fact that 2 out of the 3 have signed sends to him? And do you know yet what decision he's made regarding his future?
No, I think you would be surprised if I answer differently now than I've answered for the whole season. So it's nice that we've done already 2 announcements, and we can talk about that for hours. But if you want to talk for hours about me, about Trent, then it's for hours the same answer. We don't talk about these things as long as things are not done yet, and they aren't. So that's why we don't talk in public about his situation.
Well, I take it though, like you did with Mo and with Virgil, you would still hope that Trent would see his future here.
Trent is coming back from an injury. He trained with us yesterday, and every time he plays with us and trains with us, he shows his commitment. He shows how he's worked so hard to be back already now. And the moment he's on the pitch, he shows me what a great football player he is, and how much he's involved in us trying.
Listen, with Trent, it is what it is. You know what I mean, people. If he's leaving, look, good luck, man. You know what I mean? We saw Real Madrid the other day against Arsenal. They got battered. I mean, I never thought out in my life I'll be like clapping Arsenal on a performance, if you know what I mean, guys. And I had to clap them because they were phenomenal against Real Madrid. Real Madrid didn't know what hit them. You know what I mean? Look at Real Madrid's team. They're the current Champions League champions. They're the current La Liga champions. So, you know, and then you add on Mbappe on top of that. Vinicius, Mbappe, Bellingham, Rodrigo, you know, Valverde, all these guys. You know what I mean? They got all these guys in that team. And Arsenal made them look ordinary. You know what I mean? So if Trent thinks going to them and playing the way he's been playing for Liverpool all these years, which is lack of defensive quality, lack of awareness, let's just put it that way. He doesn't even know what's around him majority of the time, and he's going to Real Madrid to play in that role. He'll be back quicker than you think, mate. One season, he'll be back. That's how it is in Madrid. So he better hope he brushes up on his game. Otherwise, he'll be back like Coutinho and players like that been there before. So, yeah, man. It's just sad. It's just sad, you know. We thought he was the future captain. We thought he's going to be, you know, after Van Dijk leading us to the next, success at Liverpool Football Club, and it doesn't look like he's going to be here from what we all can see. Things can change, yes, I agree, but he hasn't put himself in a good position to the Liverpool fans, because he's getting a lot of insults. His brothers are getting insulted as well, family and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that's the way to go about it. I didn't insult nothing. It's nothing to do with me. But look on the bright side, guys. I've always said it. Look on the bright side. Players, first of all, they have to do their jobs, and things like this can be something that's good for the football club. You look at the Coutinho incident. When he went to Barcelona, we thought it was the end of the world, and then he left it. He went down there. Where is he now? Playing in Qatar. Didn't last more than, I think, 2 seasons over there. So things can ruin players, and when other players who are at your football club see things like that, it motivates them to stay more at your football club, if you know what I mean. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I want to see something like that. Learn from players that made mistakes by moving away. Because Real Madrid, man, if you're not playing, in a level of that club, you'll be gone as quick as you've come in. I mean, so that's what Trent needs to look at. Because Real Madrid currently are not in a good position, guys. Like, let's just be honest. Mbappe came in, I think he disrupted the whole squad. When the players win championships and then a player comes into their team and he earns more than them, he's got more recognition than all of them, it disrupts a lot of stuff. So the players really down to their performances, and that's what's happened to Real Madrid at the moment. You see Bellingham doesn't do what Bellingham used to do anymore. Vinicius Jr., apparently everybody was saying he should be the best player in the world, getting that award, and even Real Madrid boycotted, I think, that award show. So it is what it is. And Trent is going into a team that's not, in a good position at the moment. And he's going to be part of that. He needs to be careful. Because, at Liverpool, whenever some of us criticized him for his performances, there was a lot of people that was having a go at us, telling us you're not a Liverpool fan. Why are you having a go at a Scouser, etc.? And I've always said, treat every player the same. If you treat every player the same, they will perform much better on the pitch. So there's no favoritism. At the end of the day, football is 11 man. Is 11 man on the pitch. So if you're supporting that football club, you treat all of them the same, because they've got to try as a unit to win games and win titles and etc. So yeah, it's that's something that's come out of this. If he leaves, even if he stays, criticism should not be, it still should be part of his performances if he stays at Liverpool Football Club. No more people telling us because he's a Scouser you can't criticize him. I don't want to hear this shit like that, man. I see this guy walking in games. I see this guy. People saw, him walking around in the Man United game. There was a game before that against Fulham. He was doing worse than that. But at the time, there was no contractual issues. There was no, no focus on Trent and his ability and what he does on the pitch, because there was no problems, with his contracts and all that stuff. But as soon as that appeared in January, and then he played like that against Man United, all the supporters of him started criticizing him and all that stuff. So you got to balance that. You got to be true to yourself. That's what I am when I talk about the players. It doesn't matter where you come from, in my eyes, as long as you're doing good for the football club. I'm going to support you. It doesn't matter who you are. You do bad, I'm going to criticize you. That's how it is. That's how it is, guys. But going forward, this Scouser stuff and all this stuff, like for players, we need to, stop that stuff. Because if he leaves, and it just makes it worse, for the local people. Let me just put it that way, because we say he's a Scouser in the team, and he just left us like that. And I remember what he was saying before. He said, I want to captain this team. I want to push this team, to the next level in the next years and all that stuff. And he had the opportunity. I mean, he's the vice captain of the football club. Does he really act like a vice captain? Does he come out after games and start saying, things, about our football club, about after match reactions and things like that? He doesn't really talk a lot. That's not a vice captain. Remember Milner and Henderson? If Henderson's not there, Milner was there. That's what it was. Now we see Salah more than we see Trent. So who's the vice captain at the club? There's a lot of things we've got to look at, guys, man. And Trent, I don't think it's a bad thing him leaving. I don't think so, in my honest opinion. The only thing that's bad is we're not getting any, money for him. That's the only thing. Yeah, but let's continue with the press conference.
Trying to achieve our goals this season. He's worked so hard during the whole season and now in his rehab to be back with the team again. And the fans of Liverpool, everyone who watches football for the last 5, 6 or 7 years knows that he's an incredible fullback. Has been an incredible fullback for this football club. And let's see what the future brings.
Ready for this weekend, Trent?
Not to start, but if today and tomorrow things go well, he might be on the bench, but definitely not to start because he's out for 5.5 weeks, and this is today probably his first session with the team. Was Wednesday, I think. He did parts of the team session, so he's not able to start, but hopefully he can be able to join us because for Connor he's been out for a long time, so for him to play 90 isn't easy as well. So it would be nice if Trent is with us during the weekend. Yes.
The goal is obviously to get over the line. What thought have you given that this weekend could be the weekend that you clinch the Premier League title?
Well, my thoughts are not on that at all. My thoughts are all, as always, on Leicester and on our team. How to improve? What can we do better? So we can do many things.
It's good, look, we've got 2 games away from winning the Premier League, guys. You know what I mean? So for all you know, Arsenal can lose to Ipswich. Anything can happen in football. We know that in the Premier League because look at what Arsenal did to Real Madrid in the first game. They beat them 3-1. They went. They obviously played at home again. They played against Brentford, and Brentford, got a draw. So anything can happen in football. And Ipswich are still a good team in some sort of ways. They might want to still have that chance of a Premier League. Still, it doesn't look that way. You know what I'm saying? And give a performance that day as well. So if they drop points, I think they have to lose. I'm sure they have to lose in order for us to beat Leicester to win the Premier League. So we could win at Leicester, man. We could win at Leicester. Still, obviously, still a couple of games to go. We'll see. We'll see. I see Arsenal beating Ipswich. I don't think Arsenal's going to lose. But football can be, can be, something that's mysterious. Mysterious things do happen, So things will shock you. A lot of things will shock you in football. So, yeah. Imagine that, man. We find out they lose tomorrow, and then on Sunday we beat Leicester, and then we become champions. Wow. I can't believe I'm talking like this, guys. Think about it this way, yeah. In the beginning of the season, we wasn't even thinking about winning any titles. I remember I was saying I'll finish in top 4, probably win an FA Cup or a League Cup, just win a cup at least. But you see this, it's crazy how life's turned out, man. Obviously, you're going to get those haters that's going to say, sorry, my voice is gone. Obviously, you're going to get those haters that's going to say, oh, it's been the worst season and all this stuff. How can it be the worst season, man, when another team is winning the league, not the same old one? Imagine we sit here, another season, Man City win their 5th title in a row. Isn't that boring? You know what I mean? It's madness, man. It's madness. Every team wishes to be in our position. Let's just put it that way. Every team wishes to be Liverpool. We already know what we're going to win. Other teams don't know. Arsenal doesn't know if they're going to win the Champions League. You know what I mean? And, Man City, they don't even know if they're going to qualify for the Champions League next season as well. So a lot of things are happening, man. A lot of things. But unfortunately, they might get in because top 5 gets you into the Champions League next season, which is unfortunate. We did pretty well in the Champions League this season, the English teams, compared to the season before. Man United and Newcastle were in it. They let everybody down because they finished bottom of their groups. Yeah, but people come. Put the comments through, man. Let's listen to Mr. Arne's slot. And then I'm going to be off, just setting up for the weekend. Hopefully, I'll do a watch along on here as well with this new graphics. Appreciate everybody that's supportive, man. I know I don't do it every day, but you still get JK and Alante coming on here, supporting the channel as always, man. And we appreciate you guys. Big up, Dara, man. It's been a while, bro. I hope everything is well. 2 games to go, Dara. 2 games to go, my friend. And could be 1 if Ipswich beat Arsenal tomorrow. Looking forward to it, mate. I'm looking forward to the parade as well. I'm going to go to it. It's special, man. I've never in my life, 46 years old, never in my life, I've seen Liverpool win the Premier League, you know, in a parade. I've never seen that. Big up, Dara, brother. And yeah, it's going to be special. I don't think the players know what's coming. That's the funniest thing about it, guys. I don't think the players know what's coming. They think the Champions League win, you know, a few seasons ago, and the celebration after that was special. This is going to be over 1 million people. You know what I'm saying? Over 1 million people. The hotels at Liverpool at the moment are going for like was it $2,000 a day or something like $3,000 a day. I've checked it out. I've decided, you know, hopefully my sister will take me in, and you know, I could go to, I just walk, you know, to the parade from her house. So I'm lucky in that way. But yeah, it's crazy. Over $2,000, $3,000, you know what I mean, a night for a hotel. No, thank you very much. But people, yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. Get your comments through. You know, I read your comments. You know, I like to interact with you guys. That's what I'm always here for. I'm on my own nowadays in regards to doing things like this. So yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's get back to the press conference.
It's better in the first half against West Ham. We could do a lot of things better in the second half. So during the start of the week, we've worked on that a lot, and now we are working towards Leicester, 1 game at a time, and influence the one we can influence on, and that's the Leicester game.
Yeah. Arne, have you not given it any thought what this weekend might hold and what next weekend might hold?
The honest answer is no, but I'm not sure if you believe me, but that is the honest answer. My whole life, I'm living in the moment, in the day, and I'm not looking backwards a lot, and I'm not looking forward a lot, because it's the type of person that I am, that I'm not constantly looking back at what I've achieved at former clubs. Or that is also so difficult in football. People constantly tell you, try to enjoy the whole journey and blah, blah, blah. But the only thing as a manager you're thinking of, during the weekend, there's a game coming up as well. And we need to win that, and we need to win the next, and we need to win the next. So maybe that's one of the reasons, because I'm already so long in football that you get used to the fact of living day by day and trying to influence day by day.
What a head coach, man. Listen, I said that in the beginning of the season, in regards to head coaches and managers, there's 2 different things here, what people need to understand. A manager has to do a lot on and off the pitch, if you know what I mean. He has to go to a lot of events. He has to do a lot of stuff for the football club. A coach is mainly focusing on training the first team, preparing the first team, you know, tactically and, you know, mentally, physically, everything. And that's what I've always opted for, a head coach, because although it's great to do stuff outside the football club, but this is what you got Michael Edwards for, Richard Hughes, you know, the FSG, you know, brand. This is what you got. This is the chairman, Tom Warner, you know, John W. Henry, Linda, all these people. They are the ones who are supposed to do things like this, not the manager. The manager, so the head coach is better just concentrating on the team. And this season, I said it in the beginning of the season. I honestly said it in the beginning of the season when people told me about he should be a manager. I said, no, a head coach is much better because he just focuses on the team. And look at the rewards you get. You actually get rewards at the end of that, which is winning the league. He left his family back home in Holland, final, I think, where they were last. And he's coming in his first season all alone with a head, you know, with his coaching staff and all that stuff. And look at the benefits with that. I want to win titles, guys. I'm not here to be sentimental. I know a lot of our fans want to be sentimental and all this stuff. They enjoy things like that. But we've done that too many years in between the previous success, consistency of success. We've had that 30 years, 32 years of being sentimental, looking back at the good old days of Shankly, Paisley, Fagan, Dalglish and all that stuff. Great to look back on it, but we need to create for the next, next decades, if you know what I mean. If we don't do that, we're going to be lost in the wilderness, and we don't want to be like that kind of club that's acceptance of finishing in mid-table, that accepts finishing in the relegation zones and all that stuff. Look at Man United fans now. They accept it. Look where they are in the league. You're going to see it when it turns over. They accept it. They accept being where they are. And that's Man United. Man United should not be accepting being in the bottom half of the table. Look where they are. Where's Man United? There you go, 14th in the league. 14th in the league. 32 games gone. When did you ever think Man United going to be there? Now their fan base accept it. They don't care anymore. And I don't want to be going through things like that. I could never imagine my football club going to 14th position like that, man. So this is what I'm saying. It's good to reminisce, but it's good to remind the current fans who are going to take over our position as the fans eventually, like when we get older, and everybody has expiry time. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, guys? That they maintain that success for this football club. Remember what football club this is. This is a club that wins. It's all about winning. If you don't win a league title or a Champions League, at least win a League Cup, FA Cup, something. It counts, people. It counts. Because if you have that winning mentality, you'll never lose that identity. And that's what I don't want for my football club. I want my football club to always have that winning side. This is what I've been fighting for all these years. I mean, and obviously I had a lot of fights down the years with people who are new to Liverpool Football Club. Youngsters are born Liverpool fans, but they say, it's okay to be, like what Roy Hodgson said. I don't know why this guy's phone. Sorry, guys. Let me turn this down, actually. Like what Roy Hodgson said when he was manager. He said Liverpool aren't too good to go down. What the hell are you talking about, man? I mean, you're a manager of one of the elite clubs in the world, and you're telling us Liverpool aren't good to go down. What the hell, man? That's why everybody lost the plot. Everybody lost the plot after that. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. And this is the behavior we don't want to be surrounded by. Guys, we should be talking like we're a top team. We should be talking like we're the best team in England, because we are. Trophy-wise, that's what you're here for, to win trophies. Football is about winning trophies. Forget about off-the-pitch stuff financially and being in, like what Man United fans are already like, they talk about finance like they're calculators and all that stuff. They're madness, man. You're only here to support the football club. You pay your hard-earned money to go to the stadium to watch your football club. You're not here to be a financial director. What are you? Come on, man. I hear them talking like that sometimes in their shows, talking about making this much money, making that much money. Does it benefit your pocket? No. So what's the point talking about it? It's all about trophies. We're here for trophies. And that's what I don't want my football club to be, to lose that, having that mentality of trophies. When people say dismiss the FA Cup, dismiss the League Cup and all that stuff, it's wrong. Because if you corrupt the players' minds with things like that, that's what your football club becomes. Players like Phil Babb, John Scales, all these kind of players will come to your football club being happy to be at your football club, not to compete for titles, but being happy, having that CV, playing for Liverpool Football Club. Because when they finish football, they'll have that, in regards to becoming a pundit and things like that. You have Liverpool in your past, because that's a big football club. That's an institution. One of the biggest clubs in the world of football. So you have that in your CV. So when you finish football, you still got life in regards to punditry. You know what I mean? But they don't come in with a mentality of want to win titles. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. These players don't come over here to win titles because they don't have that mentality. And we don't want to be going through things like that. Always win trophies. It doesn't matter if it's the FA Cup, League Cup, if you can't get the Premier League and Champions League. Go for these trophies every single time, because it's a good mentality to have. Look at Newcastle. After that League Cup, look at them now. They're winning every game. Look at the boost it can give you, man. It gives you a boost to go the next step. And that's the DNA we have in this football club. And we should never lose that. Never, ever, ever, ever lose that. People, man, where's the chat? Big up, Dara. Oh, thank you. You're not alone, mate. Appreciate that, bro. It's different, man. I've deleted everything out of my life in regards to social media and all that stuff. I just want to concentrate on YouTube and just be me and present myself to you guys. That's all I want to do. I don't want to get involved in politics. Who's the better YouTuber? Who's this? Who's that? Who's that? I don't want to get involved in things like that. There's too much of that goes on YouTube, in my opinion. And I just want to enjoy something that's a hobby for me, something that's dear to my life, which is Liverpool Football Club. And that's what I want to do, man. I don't want to be debating with people who don't really love football. They just want to debate, and all that stuff about unnecessary stuff. I don't want to do that. So I just like this. I like doing this. That's why I keep trying to do new graphics just to see what suits the channel. This one looks pretty good, to be fair. So I might do this in the watch-alongs and, do, at least I have one graphic like this. So I could just do the watch-alongs with it, and I could do the chat shows with it as well. And obviously have the screen in the bottom and see what's going on in the world in regards to, people talking about Liverpool, Miss Talk Sport, if it's press conferences, whatever it is. So, yeah. But let's get back to this. And please hit the likes. Please hit subscribe as well. Appreciate everybody that's on, man. I know I've just done it just straight away on here. And, I get good views.
Yeah, fair enough. Just going back to Virgil then, how important a figure do you feel he is for this football club?
It's almost difficult to describe, because you know how important he is when you see him play. So that's what we all see. Everybody has given him compliments over the years so many times about how good he is as a defender. I mostly watch football and looking at ball possession. So he's so good in bringing the ball out from the back. His diagonal passes are, of course, known by everyone towards Mo, but the amount of times he plays balls through the lines, the timing when he passes it, and then the leader he is in and around this AXA training center, that is something I haven't worked with a player like him in terms of leadership. So the energy he brings to the team in every single training session, and how professional he is for himself, but also tries to influence his teammates, especially the younger ones. I think Ryan is a great example of that. He's constantly on him, trying to make him even more of a professional than Ryan already is. But Ryan wasn't used to playing so many games.
There's a Virgil is just in a class of his own, guys. Like, there's no weakness in this defender, man. I've watched great defenders in my lifetime. Virgil, there's no weakness in his game. The guy can do long balls, short balls, defend one-on-one, lead the team. He could do everything, mate, on his own. Not like he needed support. He could do everything on his own. And listen, if he wasn't at Liverpool Football Club, if he was at Man United, if he was at Chelsea, if he was at Arsenal, if he was at, other teams, Real Madrid, Barcelona, etc., I think everybody would have just said he's one of the greatest defenders that ever lived. I honestly think that. It's just Liverpool. The Liverpool name sometimes doesn't get the credit, because we've got a lot of hatred around the world, and it's just due to the success and the dominance that we had. That's what it is, and people don't like that. We're still the only British team that's dominated Europe and the league at the same time. Man United never did it. Chelsea never did it. Arsenal don't even have a European Cup. Nottingham Forest did it back-to-back, to be fair. Aston Villa never did it. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. I've always said it in life, guys. If people hate you, they must hate you for a reason. If you don't know what the reason is, the reason is, in my opinion, is because you're good. I mean, there's no other teams that have the fan base that we have. There's no other team that has the connection that we have. I mean, the togetherness, the love that we give each other as a fan base. There's nothing like that, man. This is why people don't like us. And it's good to have that, because they lose focus of their own thing to concentrate on us, if you know what I mean. And I like that. Because we don't go back doing the same thing. The worst thing we used to do back in the day is, we try to justify things for them to like us. We don't need to do that, man. Just relax. Just relax. Let them hate. Let them hate, man. That's what it's all about. Big up. Camino. I hope I said that right. Camino. Big up. Go Liverpool, win. I hope we win. Camino. I really hope that. Dustin, big up, brother. Big up, bro. Haven't seen you for a bit. Virgil is the best player, period. Yeah, listen, if it was another team, I guarantee you, if he was at Man United doing what he's doing at Liverpool, you will get, status like Stamp. Some people even put Stamp there. I don't even remember Stamp staying at Man United more than 2 seasons. So I don't know where Stamp comes into the greatest, defenders in the Premier League when Jason Cundy is talking about things like that. It's weird. I don't think Stamp stayed longer than 2 years. It's weird. Very strange. Very, very strange. Spot on for big up, Norm. I'll read the other comment in a minute, brother. Sorry about that. Carmino says need to buy Bastoni, Nicola Barella, Liverpool. I don't think they're gonna go for Barella because of his age. I think he's 28 now. Bastoni, I've been hearing a lot about that because he could play left back as well as a centre back. I don't know. I like him, but is he what we need? I think Bastoni is about 26 years old. So yeah, Liverpool can go play for players like that. I don't think they will look elsewhere if they're gonna go for him. Because he could play a centre back and a left back as well. But what I want to see the next step for Liverpool Football Club is getting someone similar to Van Dijk. It's gonna be difficult, but there should be defenders out there because we don't want to go from Alan Hansen, Glenn Hussein for a couple of seasons. I'm sure Norm knows who Glenn Hussein is and Dara because they're slightly older. Who replaced Hansen? I think Hansen had a few, as I remember, he had a few knee injuries. And Glenn Hussein came. He's a Swedish international, obviously great defender at the time, and back, he covered up for Alan Hansen and until he gets fit and all that stuff. But the replacements after that, Torban Picnic, as we used to call him. I couldn't say his name, so I used to call him Picnic. That's the worst defender I've ever seen in my life playing for Liverpool Football Club. Then you look at Neil Ruddock, Steve Hartness, Phil Babb, John Scales. The list. The Hoopier was the best one out of the lot. Don't get me wrong, but was he Van Dijk level? No. If he played with Van Dijk, maybe he'll be. I think they will win multiple Premier League titles. It's just the wrong timing in life, isn't it? That's what it is. Yeah. So if you look at the defenders after Hansen, it was terrible, man. Terrible defenders. Agger was good. Don't get me wrong, but Agger was injury prone. That was the problem with Agger. It just couldn't stay fit. Skirtle, nah, not for me. Carragher, nah, not for me. Sacco, nah, not for me. So it took us a while to get from Alan Hansen to Van Dijk. It took us a while, guys. Don't get me wrong, Hoopier was good, but was he a championship defender on a consistent basis? No. He was good, but no. You need to have that, something special about you as a centre back, like Hansen had, like Lawrenson had, like Yates had that. Thompson, Emilien Hughes, Tommy Smith. These guys, like, they had something about them that scared the opponents, that made you win titles. And that's what we didn't have. We didn't have that for a long, long, long time until Virgil walked through that door. The day Virgil walked through that door, Liverpool changed. Don't forget that season, we actually made it to the Champions League final. Why did we lose it? Because of a dumbass goalkeeper. That's why we lost that Champions League final. So, yeah, listen, Virgil is a dime of a dozen, man. And we need something similar. We got to learn from past history. You got to learn from that. You got to learn from that, man, and make sure the next generation at Liverpool Football Club is as strong as the generation that's before them. Yeah, Virgil, man, special, man, very special. I still remember we was playing Leicester at home when he came to Liverpool. He had the black suit, turtleneck. I got good memories in certain things, innit? And I remember Salah grabbing Maguire and then turning him and scoring a goal in the bottom corner, left hand side of the goalkeeper. I'm telling you guys, like, I know my history about Liverpool. You know what I mean, if even before me, like I wasn't around when Thompsons and Emily Hughes and Tommy Smiths, were battering teams. But you got to learn about your club, man. You got to learn about your club, and I love it. I love learning about Liverpool Football Club. That's why I always admire Frank Carlisle, because when I used to look at the history of Liverpool Football Club, he was on YouTube and TV. Like, I used to see him talking about the history of Liverpool Football Club. Frank Carlisle. That guy deserves credit, man. And not only that, he deserves a lot of subscribers, and he deserves the respect, man. Go to that guy and get in his channel, man, and help him out in every way. I always said to him, if he needs me, I'm always there, because I admire that guy. He's a legend, man. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. Because what I see on YouTube nowadays, people don't know legends, man. They pretend they know legends, but they don't know legends. Frank Carlisle is a legend. Go and check him out. If you know about his history about Liverpool Football Club. I mean, I don't come over here criticizing people. You know what I mean? Big up Edward, man. Sorry about that. Sorry, bro. Bastoni and Barella, they're good players, but I don't think Inter Milan is going to let them go. I've got a feeling, Camino, I've got a feeling Inter Milan might win the Champions League this season, man. I don't know. Something's telling me, mate. Honestly, I think they're that good, because Inter Milan is always in and around the Champions League. I've noticed in and around. They're always there. They made it to the final a couple of seasons ago. Now they're back. You know what I mean? And they're doing pretty well. They beat Bayern Munich. You know what I mean? They were pretty good. Don't get me wrong. They were pretty good as well. Fozzie, I think in terms of defending, Virgil is the best I've ever seen. He is not as good as Hansen on the ball, but pure defending, I've not seen better. Bro, I'm not here to judge. You know what I mean? You're spot on what you're saying. I've watched both of them. I mean, I watched the latter years of, obviously, Hansen when he was the captain at Liverpool. He was phenomenal, man. Absolutely phenomenal. Calm, composed, can run with the ball from defense to the attack, and defensively, proper leader. Not enough credit. You hear about the Terrys and Adams and all these guys, but there was Alan Hansen before them, and Lawrenson and that. Gillespie, you know what I mean? People forget how good Gillespie was as well. Who's at LFC TV majority of the time, commentating on there. So yeah, it's good to go. Listen, I could go through history. I mean, I'm not saying I'm as good as Norm or Dara or Edward and Dustin. I'm not gonna say that, but yeah, man. If you know Liverpool, you know Liverpool, you know their history, you know what I mean? That's why I brought up Frank Carlisle. Because not many people know how important he is to the history of Liverpool Football Club and what he knows more than everybody else. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're spot on. I can't argue with that. Mate. I told you I'll come back to that message. Emily Hughes, guys, like if you look at Emily Hughes' Crazy Horse, there's a statue of him outside Anfield with Bob Paisley carrying him. Bob Paisley was the physio. he was everything, you know what I mean? As well as the greatest manager. Not greatest manager, but obviously Shankly is the greatest. But, Bob Paisley is the most successful manager. Yeah, it's them two. There's a statue outside the store. And you see Bob Paisley carrying him. The magic sponge, as they used to call it, guys, isn't it? A player's injured, they used to get that magic sponge, spray water and all that stuff. And all of a sudden, the player is walking around again. It's, the good old days of football, man. No medics, man. It's just that, the coaches are the medics. That's how it used to be. Even Roy Evans, I think, did it a few times as I've seen a lot when I used to look back. Glenn Hussein was very good for 2 years, then injured, cost him. There you go. No, if people say to me, I don't watch Liverpool back in the day, I'm bullshitting. How do I know about Glenn Hussein? Not many people mention players like that, bro. Anton and me, like we're 46. We knew each other since we was 9 years old. 10 years old. So I've got evidence that I did see these players. Not many people can say that. Why would I mention Glenn Hussein out of anybody, out of the blue, or Torban Picnic? Nobody knows that guy. You know what I'm saying? So the worst defender that we ever had. I mean, you think like some of these defenders before, were bad? Go and check out Picnic, man. He was the worst. I think Graham Souness bought him. I mean, we had that. I remember the green kit. There's a green kit coming out now, Adidas kit, guys. It was the green kit Adidas with the three stripes on the side. You know what I mean? That's how I remember him. You know what I mean? Tour bar and picnic. Yeah, he was rubbish. Like, you think to yourself, how did you make it as a footballer, bro? Like, I've been trying to do that all my life. How the hell did you make it? I might as well just go to Denmark, where he's from, and all that stuff, and just, play for a football team over there. Maybe I could make it back in England, and make it as a Liverpool player. He was terrible. I don't know what Graham Souness watched. I don't know what Graham Souness watched to get that player, man. I hope. Oh, man. One of the worst. One of the worst. Glenn Hussein, man. What a player. What a player. What a leader. He had like grey hair at age of 26. Madness. Absolute madness. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Sorry, Dustin. Sorry about that. Let me just read your comment here. Appreciate that. I'll come to you on one norm. But let me finish this as well with the manager, because I haven't finished the press conference. Stamp 3 seasons, to be fair, I think he was Virgil's favorite. Yeah, okay. I didn't know, bro. Because I thought it was 2 seasons. I know him and Ferguson had a row, and then he walked away. I remember that. But I didn't know he stayed at Man United for 3 seasons. Big up, Dustin, man. Appreciate that, brother. Great defender, but I don't think he stayed long enough in England to be considered as the greatest defenders. You know what I mean? That's 3 seasons is nothing. Virgil's been here through Southampton and Liverpool. I mean, 7 years at Liverpool and a couple of years at Southampton, as we know. So, yeah. I understand. Great defender, though. Don't get me wrong, man. I remember him in the Champions League final in 2005. I mean, he was part of that defense with Nesta and that got beat.
Well, beat 3-0 up, and then we come back and beat them in penalties.
Everything Liverpool, guys. Everything Liverpool. There you go, man. That's how much I love this football club. No matter what it is, I have something. I might not be dressed like a Liverpool fan. I got this LRFC here now. Yeah. From 1991, 1999, we went through so many average defenders. Hoopier was very good, but not in Hansen and Virgil's class. That's what I'm saying, Norm. I don't think... I think people take it as an insult when I'm talking about, Hoopier in a way of consistently being, a great defender to win titles. No. When Virgil walked through the door, you already know that, he had the aura about him being a great defender. You knew championships were coming. Like I said, he came for a half a season. We was already in the Champions League final. That's madness, man. Absolute madness. What a player, man. What a player.
So he's constantly on him. So he's having a big influence at this club. But the main influence he has is, of course, in the weekend. And that is also the thing he has to focus on mostly. But the good thing with him is he also attributes here at the AXA. And hopefully he can do that in the upcoming 2 seasons as well.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You say upcoming 2 seasons. I just wonder with Virgil, how long do you think he can play at the very highest level for? In recent years, we've seen Thiago Silva playing at 39 for Chelsea in the Premier League. Has Virgil got the potential to be at that level for many years to come?
That is difficult because I can only judge him on the quality he has now. And I'm not an expert in what is then the reason why Thiago could do this and what you need to have to do. The one thing that first comes to my mind is stay fit. If a player at any age is out for 2 or 3 months, I've noticed that this season even more than the years I've worked at different clubs, because I think here this is the highest level there is in football, the Premier League. And if you're out here for 2 or 3 months, it's quite hard for players to come back immediately to their old level. So my first take is stay fit. And if he would stay fit, I see no reason why he would regress. But and the club as well. Otherwise, we wouldn't have given him a 2-year contract.
And a lot of talk among fans about the number 9 position and how different players have played that role this season. I just wonder going forward, what kind of qualities do you want in your number 9, and what would suit your tactics from that position, ideally going forward?
You want a difficult answer or a simple?
Listen, guys, we do need a number 9 in the next coming seasons. So, I mean, Darwin Núñez is just not up for it. I couldn't believe he wasn't on the bench in the previous game as well. Like, it is just ridiculous, I mean, let me tell you something. I'll go to games, innit? And Norm can attest for me as well. Liverpool fans love Darwin Núñez. If you go to the stadium, they keep singing his name, no matter what he does. But the quality is just not there. I tried for 2 seasons to back this guy. I tried everything. You know what I mean? But he's not helping himself. As the striker, you need to like battle through, man, and fight. He's not even a fighter. That's what's angering me. Yes, he does this running and, you know, closing down and all that stuff. Great. But I didn't buy you for that. I bought you to score goals. You're wearing number 9, Ian Rush, sir. Ian Rush. The guy done same as you. He worked hard. He run up and down, but he still scored over 300 goals. Come on, man. Oh, yeah, we need a number 9, man.
Answer.
Let's go somewhere in the middle.
The simple answer is what you want from a number 9: goals.
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
why you play a forward, not only a winger, but also your number 9. So he needs to produce goals. And apart from that, I think in modern day football, a number 9, like a right winger, like a midfielder, like a defender, they need to work hard and be part of an intense pressing team. If you look at the teams that are now playing in the semi-final of the Champions League, they are all 11 players that work their ass off. Is that okay? Yeah, that's still okay.
You careful with the wording, of
Yeah,
course.
apologies
You
for
careful with the
language.
wording.
So that is also what I'm expecting from our number 9, that he's part of an intense pressing team. But in the end, it's helpful if the number 9.
Let me say something to you guys. Yeah, if you're looking for a number 9, I know he's only been there for 1 season at Atletico Madrid. If we ever just give them Darwin, and 50 million, just do something like that, and just get Alvarez on this side. Forget about the City side. This side, I'm telling you guys, Alvarez is the one. Wash your eyes off. What's his name? Isak. Forget about Isak. It's too expensive. Alvarez, who plays for Atletico Madrid, former Man City player, who won it all, by the way, won everything in football, international football as well as club football, is the one. I don't know why we didn't get him. I just don't understand. He's so clinical, guys. He's unreal. And he can play any position in the front line, any position, and still be the best player. Alvarez is the one, man. I'm telling you guys, if you're looking for a Liverpool striker that you will love, that you probably put up there near to Firmino, Alvarez is the one. Go look at his goals, guys. He is absolutely clinical. Not just 1 foot, both feet, left and right. And I've been vouching for this guy. You could go back to my, uploaded videos, the video section, the not live ones, by the way, and check it out. I said this months ago, before all these people start coming out. He's the one, man. I was just looking at a player that can do it all for Liverpool. Play as a number 9, can play as a number 10, like a Firmino role. It depends on the game. It depends what game we have. If a game deep line defending, you have to have a striker that's more than capable of breaking that defense, and he's the one. If a team is playing high line, he could get behind, and at pace defenders as well. So you need to. We keep talking about these, strikers because they're doing well and all that stuff. But what you need the most is what's suitable for your football club. And Alvarez is the one. Injury record, 0. You're not going to get injuries anymore. You're going to get a player, obviously, touch wood. You never know, But he's got 0 injuries because he doesn't put himself in harm's way. He makes sure he's always fit. And that's what you need. Forget about these injury-prone players we're always buying. He's the one. Break the bank. Give them 2 players. Give them Diaz and Núñez if you have to. Give them both. Just give them both. Just get that guy through the door, man. If you're serious, that is.
If Liverpool or at any team in the world scores goals. That was the short answer.
About 5 live.
Now that they're both done, Arne, are you able to give us any insight on how impressed you've been with how Mo and Virgil have not let any of the contract talk and obviously what's been going on this season impact anything at all on the pitch?
Yeah, but maybe pundits, media always assume that we are so affected by what's been said in the media. But if you are playing so many years at this level, like Virgil and Mo do, I don't think you are affected anymore by what people say. And these two players are also not. If they wouldn't get a contract anywhere around the world anymore, is not.
Listen, if this is a game they played in regards to motivating players to earn a contract, the football club that is, then they're geniuses. Let me just put it that way. Even I'm saying that, and I'm not even, a FSG fan and all that stuff, as you guys already know. That's a genius move. Let me just put it that way. If they made these two players play the best football they've played in years and win the Premier League and that stuff, it's a genius move. The only thing that let us down in the Champions League and the Cup final, we didn't have the depth. We was just too tired in the second part of the season. But we put ourselves in such a good position, Arsenal couldn't even catch us up. You know what I mean? And, 13 points clear, that's how far we're from Arsenal. That's how good we are from Arsenal. So don't ever underestimate that performance in the Premier League. Whatever points to the distance is how good you are from the club that's behind you. So, yeah, it's all good, man. Don't believe these haters that's trying to bring us down and say, Liverpool are not all that and all this stuff. We are all that. It's just in the second part of the season, we just couldn't run anymore. I mean, the players have, done it all. They put so much energy in the first part. It just run out of gas in the usual times, January, sort of February, March time, as it does in every other season, because we don't have depth. We think like 14 players and playing the same 11 every single time, getting one or two players, coming off the bench, 70th minute is going to work. No, you need to change a team, starting 11 on a regular basis to keep everyone fresh. And we haven't done that. And that's why we are where we are in regards to just the Premier League. But if someone said to me in the beginning of the season, this is what you're going to have at the end of the season, what kind of fool will say no to that? You know what I mean? What kind of fool will say no to that? Premier League, Champions League, which one do you want? I'm sure about 90%, 99.9 probably % will say Premier League. So we got you what we wanted. So what's the point? What's the problem? What is the problem? We got what we wanted, which is the Premier League. Let's be happy, man. Let's be happy. Big up Edward. Big up Edward. It says 2 league. I think Virgil is the best. If you're talking about the Premier League and the First Division, I hope you're talking about that. Yeah, he's class, bro. Absolutely class. For Liverpool, I can't say because Hansen was just everything to us when we was growing up. You know what I mean? And his leadership and the way he played. At the time, there was no one close to him, man. This is what is good also now for the chat with the new deal. It gives us time to look and explore his replacement now. Yeah. This is what it's all about, bro. 2 years. And, I'm hoping Marco Edwards and Richard Hughes are planning that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, they could miss out next season, but they could get the player the season after, if you know what I mean, to get the replacement for both of them, if you know what I mean, Salah and Virgil. Yeah, good guy. 100%, bro. Guys, like that's a legend, man. That's an absolute legend. It's an absolute legend, man. I'll never say anything bad about him ever. I'm not even that type of person anyway, really. So remember the magic sponge? Yeah. You know what they used to do? They get a bucket in it, put water in it, and then just do that. Squeeze the water out of it to the player's legs, back, whatever, shoulder, and all of a sudden the player wakes up. Wow, let's go. It was like that. You know what I mean? Nolante, I'm not gonna be on for long, bro. I'm gonna be going in a minute, mate. If you guys wanna continue it, just let me know, yeah, on the chat. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on for long, bro. Yeah, yeah. I remember the magic sponge, man. It's very, very special. Just squeeze the water out of it. Crazy, absolutely crazy.
It's not like they don't have enough money to do some groceries next season, so probably they're not worried. They're not as worried as you might think they were about their situation. You might give the club some compliments that they played so well. Maybe because they had to play for a contract, which is, I think, not true because they played 6 years so well when they had a contract. But I think these players are old enough that they are not affected by by what's been said in the media.
And Virgil's spoken recently about it being a big summer for the club, and you don't often hear that from players, but maybe telling of obviously his stature within the squad. But how important was that to the two of them, Virgil and Mo, that obviously there are those assurances of the club building for the future, of course?
Yeah, I think at Liverpool there's always a big summer.
That's what I liked about what Virgil and Salah said in regards to us maintaining the success. That's why they signed a contract. They obviously spoke to the hierarchies about what's next for Liverpool Football Club, and they must have heard great things about that. So now we're expecting in the summer, hopefully, what is FSG, we're going to spend the right money on the right players. No more competing for players, but we get players through the door, if you know what I mean, guys. I'm tired of, we're going for a player, then Chelsea comes out of the blue. I'm tired. We're going for a player, then Real Madrid comes out of the blue. We don't want to be doing that. Be smart. Sign players like you did with the likes of Salah, Mane, Virgil, Fabinho at the time. Nobody expected. We lost the Champions League final. We were so disappointed because of what Karius did. We was done. And what did we do? A few days later, Fabinho was through the door. That was impressive. If the club was like that throughout the FSG era, I would have been so happy. I would never say FSG yet. But we've never, maintained that. We only did it that time. I mean, to stop the disappointments of that Champions League, we'll go next season, but Fabinho's going to come through the door. That's what we did. And it stopped that disappointments because it showed the fans we've got ambition to win the Champions League and the Premier League. When you sign the likes of Fabinho, the enforcer in the middle, that's going to, take the burden off the flair players. That's how good it was, man. Foz, if you remember Aga, very talented left-footed defender, but lots of injuries. Left-footed centre-backs tend to have lots of little injuries. Unfortunately, I did mention that a few times on the stream. I did say, if you look at left-footed strikers at number 9s, they don't really last. Left-footed centre-backs, they don't really last. You know what I mean? Look at Sako, look at Bab, look at Virgil. Aga. These players don't last, man. It's very. You look at Van der Ven at Tottenham. Look at him, injured all the time, and hardly fit. You know what I mean, so it's something. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. It's a strange thing because if you look at the number 10s, they tend to last, like Maradona's, Messi's, Haji's, players like that. But when it concerns centre backs, for some reason, the left-footed ones, they don't really last. It's not even a lie. Just look back in history. They don't really last. It's weird. Very strange. Spot on, though. Spot on, brother. I like both Aga and Skirtle. I didn't really like Skirtle, to be fair, mate. I remember we used to brag about Skirtle being the best defender in the league. I think to myself, is he really? I mean, he gave it his all to Skirtle, but we used to concede a lot of goals at the same time as well, Edward, which angered me more than anything, bro. And it was due to mistakes, own goals and that as well. Souness made mad, terrible decisions. So Souness made some terrible decisions. Made some of the signings, man. The one that got to me was Graham Souness signing. I swear it's Graham Souness. It could be Kenny. I don't know. Signing Dean Saunders, and a season later he goes to Aston Villa. What kind of nonsense was that? Dean Saunders was good. If you look at his goal record, I just looked at it recently at Liverpool. It was amazing. Dean Saunders was good at Liverpool. Only one season he spent over there and left to Aston Villa. It was weird. He was Peter Paisley. I think Peter Paisley's replacement, wasn't he? And he only stayed for one season. Oh, man. Crazy. Mate, guys, you need to look back at that guy, mate. He was very good, Dean Saunders. I'm telling you. But he only stayed for one season. I think he won the FA Cup and left. And I think we got Nigel Clough, as I remember. But he never played as a striker. He played as a midfielder. And I remember those 2 goals. I think 2 goals against Man United, that 3-3 game when Radek scored that header and he hit his head. Yeah, man. It's crazy stuff.
at a club like this. And it's already a big summer now because maybe the players don't follow everything what's been said in the media, me neither. But what I do know, sitting here every time, that it was a big thing. Can we hold on to him? Can we hold on to him? And by holding on already on 2, it's already a big summer. So, let's see what the rest of the summer will bring. But it would be strange for me to say now that I'm not happy with the team we are having, because I've said this for a year. So we are happy with the team we're having. So maybe if we can even keep that team, that would already be a big sum.
Carl.
Mate, somebody tell Arne, if he thinks that this team on its own without making his signings is gonna get us a championship again, he's got another thing coming. Big up Nelson, man. Big up, man. Hey, Fousey, excited for the next chapter with Salah and Van Dijk. I mean, all of us are, bro. Like, it's like what Norman, Edward, and the rest of the guys said, Dustin, and that. The next chapter is they are gonna nurture the next generation, to take over from them. And it's special when the players are still going to be here doing that. That's what I like, especially at the level they're at now. Salah this season has been one of the best players in the world. Van Dijk is always the best defender in the world. So if you have that still, in that level, and the youngsters are coming through to learn from you, it's madness, man. You could only get better as a player playing next to these guys.
On that though, people always say if you stand still, you go backwards in terms of transfers. So how much are you planning for the improvements that have to be made, and where do you think improvements have to be made in this team, which has done so well already this season?
Yeah, we showed the opposite last season because we didn't change anything. So I don't think we went downwards. But I in general, I agree with you, but there's also lots of study being done. The longer a team plays together, the more success it has. So I think the core of the team.
I agree with that, because if you look at us last season, we should have won the league last season if it wasn't for that fucking Marco Oliver messing up, that game against Man City at home when McAllister, got studded in the chest, and he's saying the game is too big for me to make a decision like that, and not looking at the VAR that you could see a clear penalty in the last minutes of the game, and Liverpool win that game, and we could have probably won on to win the league after that. But you look at this season, it's 2 different seasons, isn't it? If you look at this season, guys, less 12:30 kickoffs, less the referees' mistakes than usual, and we're actually playing in a fair season to normal. And if you look at it, think about it this way: in the Klopp era, if we played like this and the referees were the way they were this season, and less 12:30 kickoffs, we could have been on three titles or something like that. Think about what I'm saying, guys. Like, look how dominant we are when we're like not playing 12:30, and bad refereeing. We had a few this season, obviously, Marco Oliver, Everton away and that stuff, but it's less than usual, if you know what I mean. David Coote saved a lot of stuff for Liverpool this seation, whether we like to say it or not. He's a scumbag, obviously, what he said, but it just proved, it opened up, a lot of eyes onto what we were saying about referees for years. They do make bad decisions on purpose because they don't like Liverpool Football Club. We've been saying that and nobody believed us. They say you're chatting shit until they saw that David Coote video trashing Liverpool Football Club, the fan base, and Jurgen at the time as well. So when things like that happened in the beginning, guys, like, things have changed. Things have changed, man, because less bad decisions, less 12:30 kickoffs, and Liverpool just coasted along, man. You know what I mean? So, and we're getting penalties that we're supposed to get. Normally, we don't get those penalties in the other seasons, which is weird. Listen, this season, man, I think it's been the most fair season I've seen in the Premier League since we've been challenging. If you call it fair in a way. And look how good we can be if everything is fair. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, good, man. Good to see. Just sad, like, it didn't happen in the Klopp era. Because if that happened in the Klopp era, more championships in the cabinet. It won't be as dusty, you know what I'm saying? I would have said Tottenham, but Tottenham don't even have it. I don't even know what the hell they have.
Team you want to keep as long as you can together, as long as they are performing in the best possible way. But it is also in general good to have some new energy in and around the place with 1 or 2 new players. That I agree on. but it isn't really a necessity if you look at the quality we have and the quality of a season we've had. Because again, we saw during the week how good of a team Newcastle is. So they're number 3 now. So that they played so well against us in the League Cup final isn't probably not a surprise anymore.
Listen, if we played the way we played in the beginning of the season, I don't think we'll lose to Newcastle or PSG, because they've both been Newcastle have just got confidence out of beating us. That's what it was. If we beat them, I don't think they'll be as confident as they are right now. They just met a tired Liverpool. Same with PSG. If you look at PSG and this Aston Villa should have actually won that game. Aston Villa actually battered them at home at Villa Park. Rashford and I think someone else had an opportunity, and Asensio, that's his name, isn't it? They had Asensio, I think that's his name. They had a few opportunities. They could have won that game and they didn't. You know what I mean? And PSG being exposed, they were exposed. They ain't as good as people thought they were. And I did say to you guys, I'm optimistic about this now, because I looked at the PSG game and I looked at the Newcastle game. It's not how good they were. It was how bad we've been because of the tiredness and fatigue. That's why. And yeah, man, Villa should have been in the semi-finals of the Champions League. I'm telling you guys. They were just unlucky.
And Paris Saint-Germain has been good, but Villa showed the number 7 at the moment in England that they can win from Paris Saint-Germain.
There you go.
What a league we are in.
There you go, people. Even the boss is saying that.
Hi, Arne. We've spoken over the course of the season about frustration and maybe people focusing on results rather than performances. But in recent weeks, it feels like it's flipped a little bit, with lots of pundits talking about Liverpool's performances not being great, maybe calling it a bit of a wobble. But the reality is, over the last 6 games, you've actually gained 5 points on Arsenal at this crucial point of the season. Do you think that there's not been enough focus on Liverpool's resilience at this stage of the season?
That's difficult to judge because I don't follow everything what's being said. What I see is that indeed, I think we've won 5 out of the last 6 games. And what I've seen is during the whole season, I've said this, I think, multiple times, the first 32 games we've played in the Premier League were apart from 3 or 4, they were all tough. But when you look at the results, I think we've won many games with 1 or 2 goals difference, and only 2 or 3 with more than 2 goals difference. So that tells you that it is a very good league we are in, and how hard it is to win a game of football. And I'm not bothered by opinions of pundits. That's where they are for. They need to have an opinion. And yes, we didn't play well the second half against West Ham. So if they tell we didn't play well the second half against West Ham, I have to totally agree with them. But let's look back at Wolves away. We didn't play well for 90 minutes. And that was the start of the season. So it's not the first time that we don't play well. Wolves at home, second half performance, not 1 shot on target. So I think
there you go.
You can look at it both ways. You can see it as a big compliment that you then are where you are in the league, where we are. Or you say, it's not the team like City that was at halftime last season, either 2-0 up, either 3-0 up, or 4-0 up. Yeah, that would be the next step for us.
Well done for the big.
If that's still possible, because Pep says that isn't possible in the current Premier League anymore. But everyone is going to try to next season. He, Mikel, and me as well.
Thanks, Arne.
I like that. You know what I mean? He's still, saying we're going to challenge next season instead of like saying, no, it's going to be tough. All this stuff. But nah. Let me just read the comments before I go. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate everybody that's been on. I know I've done a last minute thing and I just, just put it up together. I want to be here for you. It's good to reminisce about, the old players as well. Great example that for the event. Yeah, there you go, bro. I don't think many people talk about that. Edward says, sorry, guys. Let me see what's going on there. Edward says, Alisson, Virgil, and Fabinho were the final pieces that we needed to get us over the line. Yeah, 100%, Edward. You do need that midfield destroyer, bro. You definitely need that, enforcer in that midfield. Every team needs that. Someone who's, doesn't give a damn about anything, and they would get into that. Let me give you an example. If you look at the Barcelona game, the 4-0 one, you look before that, at the new camp. They beat us by 3 goals, didn't they? And we had to beat them by 4 goals. Look at the. Although we didn't have Firmino and Salah on the bench on the pitch, look at the performance from Fabinho in that game. Look at the way he stopped Barcelona cutting through our midfield. And if you look at the bad games that we had this season, majority of the teams actually cut through our midfield like we wasn't there. And that's what we're missing. I remember when we was going for Caicedo, every football club in the Premier League were, going crazy. Because they said if Liverpool buy Caicedo, it'll be the end of football in the Premier League because Liverpool will dominate. McAllister and Caicedo played together at Brighton. Don't forget, guys. And then you put in the likes of, the new players around that. Mate, we could have been laughing at everybody. But it didn't happen. And we still haven't got that player. That's what's angering me now. Now we know the emergence of Gravenberch. He's not a DM, guys. He's covering in that position until we get the right DM. So this summer, if we don't get that DM, I'm starting to wonder if these ownership are against us. You know what I mean? You need someone there that can help you win the championship again and the Champions League. Someone that can destroy balls going through the middle, Pauls. You know what I mean? You can't do that. Look at the Fulham away game, guys. How did they score that goal? They cut through our midfield like a knife. That's how easy it was for them. And this is what I don't want to see anymore. Now we know McAllister can play as a DM and Gravenberch. If the regular DM needs, time off. So now we have that cover around the football club. Get the true player there that's going to dominate that position. That's what you need next. I've always said it. I'd rather go for players. I'd rather know what we need than not. Why did we not have success in the 90s and the noughties consistently, like, the rest of them? Because we was buying players for buying players' sake. It wasn't to do with, to fit the system that we have. We had no system because we were just buying anyone. That's what we was doing. But now we know what we need. We've got the defense, we've got the goalkeeper, we've got the attack, but it still needs those little tweaks here and there. That's what we got to do next. Like I said, I'd rather have something that we know we can solve than not. 90s, noughties, after that, we didn't know what we was doing. We had no structure in our football club. We have a structure. We know what we need. We need a DM. We need another centre-back. We need another winger. We need a striker. We know what we need. We need a left-back as well. Don't forget that. So for us not to sign anybody in the summer and not to sign not to sign players in the next one is going to be a travesty, man. It's going to be a travesty. But you saved enough money. You sold enough players. And, there's money coming in at the same time when you win the championship and all that stuff. So spend it wisely, man. Spend it on the positions that we need the most. You could even sell players on to get more money coming in the summer. So this is what we could do, man. We could get the rewards there. 200 million maybe we'll probably have in the bank. So let's do it right in the right way, man. Let's do it in the right way. Yes, 100%, bro. 100%. Just going through the comments before I go. I'm going upwards this time. Going back upwards. Even though we haven't been at our best, we've still won most league games. Yeah. No doubt about that. I want to get to, at least 88 points or something, just to make it look good. You know what I mean? I know we don't need to, because we won the league, already, but just, make it look good. Can't see it happening, though only left last summer. Okay. Let's see what's up in there. Just going through the comments before I go, guys. Appreciate everybody that's on, man. Please like if you're new and subscribe and all that stuff. It's up to you if you like the channel. I mean, maybe we should be scouting the South American market for similar to Alvarez, because they keep producing these types of strikers. You're spot on, bro. Like what Pep Linders said at the time is we did look at him. We looked at him and Enzo Fernandez, but we didn't get either. We could have got them for £15 million each, but we didn't do that. It's crazy, bro. Like, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy, bro. 15 million you could have bought Alvarez for. Fozzie, I would love to get him Alvarez. Yeah, no, bro, we can see it. We can see what he can do, bro. He's been in the Premier League before, scored a lot of goals as well. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not like we're getting a player that hasn't played in the Premier League. He has, and still produced goals. He had to be understudy to Haaland. I mean, Alvarez is good. Yeah, 100% he is, bro. 100% he is. All right, guys. I think I'm done, really. And there's one comment here from Mr. Norm. Norm says, remember we tried to get Desai? Yes, I remember. Taribo West, yeah. Christian Werns under Roy Evans. We had so many problems in defense in the 90s. Yeah, 100%, bro. We tried everything, bro. We tried to get whatever defender that was available. We had a lot of money in it because of the years of success. When you have a lot of success, you get a lot of money, and this is why we was paying the highest wages at the time as well. All that stuff. That's why Man United, even though they're in the last 10 to 12 years they've been crap. That's why they're doing a similar thing that Liverpool used to do. They have that, finance power as we did back in the day. We bought Stan Collymore and things like that, didn't we? Good player, but yeah, you know it is how it is with him. Yeah. Let me see what Nelson is saying before I go. Nelson's saying, do you think Trent should change his mind on signing his new contract? Nelson, I'm done with Trent, bro. If the game which was Arsenal versus Real Madrid didn't show you as a fan of football, you need that solidity in the right back position, because when you come up against tricky wingers, they're always going to cause problems if you're not good defensively. And to me, it proved to me we've had issues in that right back defensively for a long time. The way Timber played against Vinicius Jr. and the way Kyle Walker plays against Vinicius Jr., it stops Real Madrid winning. But if we have Trent there, they always beat us. They beat us in the Champions League final. Before that, we faced them in the group stages. They beat us there too. You know what I mean? So I don't want to have that doubt anymore. I want a right back that enjoys defending, bro. That, the first thing that he thinks of is defending. And that's why I'm and that fans that don't really care if Trent stays or goes, if you know what I mean. Because I think good things can come out of that. Timber should like if you watch that Real Madrid game, the way Timber performed should have made you as a fan realize if you got a defender like that, it will stop goals going in. So when you stop goals going in, we're always going to score goals, which means you're going to win games. And that's what I looked at, bro, after that game. The amount of criminal activity Trent gets away with, and we lose Champions League finals because of things like that. You're forgetting, Real Madrid Liverpool final in Paris. That goal they scored, Vinicius scored it. Why? Not only if Robertson made a mistake by running out, you got to mark your player. You got to stop, your player getting through. Trent didn't do that. He went in and scored the goal. There's not enough aggression on that side, bro. You don't see Trent slide tackling ever. You don't really see him being aggressive as a right back. I mean, great pass off the ball. Are we here for passing only? Or are we here for defending first? Hasn't created much for a long time. He used to be a creative right back. Can't remember last time he was consistently creating things. So you got to look at it from different, angles here. And I just want a right back that can defend, man, first of all. Then the rest can come together. And if him leaving is going to happen, good luck to him. I mean, I don't want him to change his mind because the mind's already there. So if he stays, I don't want to see, performances, that we've been seeing in the last few years. Bad at defending, lack of concentration, not playing, not running back when players get past him. Think about what I'm saying, guys. You see that a lot. He doesn't sprint back to stop goals going in. He actually jogs back. Inverted, leaving the right hand side all empty. So all teams have to do is study us. When Trent inverts, so we play a long ball over the top, the winger will be free. He goes down the wing, crosses it in, someone taps it in. I don't want to see that anymore. I don't want to, teams knowing our weakness. I don't want to see things like that. So yeah, he has that mentality. He has that, thing in his brain now. Real Madrid. If things like that are making you think to leave, then leave. Leave, bro. Let's go. I don't want him changing his mind, bro. I just want a defender that can defend, and I'll be excited for that. Because if the Arsenal game didn't show you what the possibilities are stopping the opponent's best players, I don't know what will. We need to stop opponents, guys. We can't be always, looking at talk about Trent bad defending it and all that stuff anymore. We've got to be more solid. And that's how I see us going forward. I don't really care if he stays or goes. The only thing, like I said in the beginning, I'm upset about, we're not getting any finance for him. That's the only thing. But guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you probably sometime. I'll watch along probably on Sunday. Maybe I'll be doing that. I don't want to promise things that I'm not going to be turning up. You know what I mean? But thank you guys, honestly. Thank you for tuning in. It's a last minute thing as always. Appreciate that. We'll keep building, guys. Take care, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe, by the way.